Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil. If she doesn't scare you, no evil thing will. She's like a spider waiting for the kill. Cruella, Cruella de Vil. Welcome back to Everybody's Movie Hour. My name is Jess and I'm watching Everybody's Movie Hour. Today I'm going to be talking about Cruella. Cruella is a 2021 release about how Cruella de Vil became Cruella de Vil. It is directed by Craig Gillespie, cinematography by Nicolas Karakatsanis. I'm so sorry. Editing by Tatiana S. Riegel, music by Nicholas Britell, and it's written by Dana Fox and Tony McNamara. The film stars Emma Stone as Estella / Cruella, Emma Thompson as the Baroness, Joel Fry as Jasper, and Paul Walter Hauser as Horace. The film was announced in 2013. Emma Stone was cast in 2016. It was softly floated that this Cruella is the same Cruella that appears in the 101 Dalmatians live-action films portrayed by Glenn Close, and I'm pretty sure she is a producer, so I feel like that might be true, because this takes place in the 70s and like leads into her being a fashion person, and that's who she is in the live action 101 Dalmatians, and that would be so tea because Glenn Close is so fantastic. So to see like how that Cruella started with Emma Stone, it's kind of fun. It did film in 2019. It wrapped in November. The film had a $100 million budget and made $233.5 million in the box office. It was a simultaneous release, again, because of COVID. It was pushed from December 2020 to 2021. They did do tie-in makeup lines with MAC Cosmetics. As of 2021, they did say there was going to be a sequel, but there's been no updates since. It has a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes consensus. Cruella can't quite answer the question of why its title character needed an origin story, but this dazzling visual feast is awfully fun to watch whenever its leading ladies lock horns. Absolutely stunning tracking, great movements. The color correction is kind of green, which I thought was an interesting choice. I felt like I get that it was maybe trying to go for a little bit less saturation because of the whole black and white thing with Cruella de Vil, but she has the red lip, and then the whole film itself just seems to have like a greenish tint at times, which I know can sometimes be from like taking away some saturation, but I don't know, it feels like there's a little bit of green tint, which is whatever. But there is one tracking shot in particular when Cruella is working at this store where she's like cleaning all the bathrooms and everything before the Baroness discovers her, that it like goes from the front all the way down and through until it finds her. What an incredibly long dynamic shot that was. That was super cool. That's a really fun, immersive way to make you feel like part of the film. That was great. Definitely incredible. I couldn't tell you what the score of this movie sounds like because there are so many needle drops in it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. A lot of them were covers of very famous songs and had like certain vibes and everything, and I do think needle drops were appropriate for this movie because of its whole like vibe, but it felt like the movie was mostly just like needle drops and no score, which I do think impacted my viewing experience. Believe it or not, yes, this does have a voiceover intro, and it is somewhat throughout. It's pretty much framed, like, at the end you realize it sounds like it's her, like, she was telling the story standing at her own Estella's funeral or whatever, which I really think is interesting. But I don't know. The voiceover is so unnecessary here. It really feels like it doesn't need to be there. You could have told this story without it, without issue, from the beginning. I really don't think the voiceover was necessary, even a little bit. Unlike some of the other movies around this time where it's like a ton of lore drop right at the beginning with a voiceover, which like, okay, fine. No! This didn't do any lore drop. It was just her talking through what was happening, which was so unnecessary. And I really don't think it had any need. Anita being her friend, I think is really interesting. Also Roger, like all of them being around her age, I think is interesting because they're obviously very much not her age. in 101 Dalmatians. So if it is the same, like, Cruella, interesting. Also, the Anita and Roger are very different, obviously. So that's interesting, but I get, like, the looseness of that. The Dalmatians were the Baronesses, and they killed her mom. So I think they're trying to use that as, like, a look, this is why she would hate Dalmatians. But then she, like, ends up with those Dalmatians at the end. So I don't think she does hate Dalmatians, which, like, is a good thing then. I don't know. Very weird. There are 3 parent deaths. Both of Cruella's dad, I think. Yep, and adoptive mom. And then they also mention Horace's mom's passing. This is interesting. I think it's fun. It feels a little bit heisty, which is cool. I like the, like, you know, rebellious, anti, you know, everything mentality. I thought that was really fun. I thought the fashion terrorism was fun. I thought all of that was really cool. But I really feel like this didn't need to be made. And that's not to say it's not an enjoyable movie. I avoided this at the time because I was like, what are we doing? Like, you know, there are a few movies here that I've watched in the last couple weeks that I avoided on purpose because I was like, I don't feel like watching that. Like, it just, no thanks. It doesn't appeal to me. This is one of them. I am glad I watched it. I thought it was entertaining. I just can't express to you how much I don't think it needed to be made. It adds nothing. Where, like, Maleficent, there was enough room to tell another side of it, to be like, look, she's not the villain. This is what has happened. And I think they can get away with it without messing up the main movie and its point, where, like, Cruella de Vil wanted to kill 100 puppies. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way you're gonna justify that. Even if you have Dalmatians kill her mom, or who she thought was her mom, and was her adopted mom, so, like, her mom. But no matter what, she's gonna end up being the psycho lady that wanted to kill 100 puppies, so I don't think there is any way whatsoever to tell a story that's gonna make you be like, yeah, you know what, I feel for her. You know, like, I just don't think that's gonna happen. And so I think this movie was unnecessary. I get that you get a cool, like, fashion and, like, crazy heist mean movie out of it, but I don't know, dude. It added nothing. Like, okay, so she was kind of awful when she was a kid, and then she becomes Cruella de Vil. Checks out. Like, so I don't know. Fun, an entertaining watch, didn't need to be made. Emma Stone and Emma Thompson, both fantastic, but that's not surprising. You knew I had to talk about it. Genuinely stunning, so fun. I know people, I think because of Cruella de Vil and the whole black and white and red theme going on, I think a lot of people also compared this to Devil Wears Prada because of the black and white and red theme going on with Devil Wears Prada, and then, like, you know, evil fashion ladies, the Baroness, Miranda Priestley, all that kind of stuff. And I will say the fashion in this is so fun, so stunning. I think Cruella's outfits are breathtaking, like, such fun art pieces that only, like, someone like her could pull off. Like, I couldn't wear anything Cruella wore, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way. So I think that's really cool, and it was fun to see the art of the fashion, and it stands out 100%. I forgot to say it did win Best Costuming at the Oscars. My favorite part, probably when everyone sees the Baroness push Estella off the cliff, because the Baroness is a terrible person, and so it was nice to get that comeuppance. Least favorite part, how much Cruella has, like, somewhat of a lack of growth. I mean, because how are you? How? She's a little bit insane, yeah, and then she eventually wants to kill 100 puppies. So, like, I don't know what to tell you. Recommend? I don't know. Like, if you want to see some cool fashion and have, like, some fun, sure. But otherwise, like, I can't stress you how unnecessary this movie is. And then watch again, I'm probably good. Like, I wouldn't say no if someone was like, let's watch Cruella, but, like, I'm also fine. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good. That's it. Because this is all over the place, mind you, I deeply encourage you to look at the breakdown of my rating, because obviously this is a very well-made film. The cinematography is stunning. It's a cohesive vision. The editing was fine. The music was okay. Like, you know, all of these things. So the technical part of this film skyrockets the score. I highly encourage you to check my opinion score. But it does get an 8. Should I do the necklaces? Or should I do Dalmatians? Let's do 8, like, you know, ruby gem necklaces out of 10. Our total movie count is. Our parent death toll is. Cry count is still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on all socials and check out my website. It's really cool. Join Patreon. Got a tier starting at just $1. You get every video a week early. Tiers above that, daily trivia, monthly postcards, bonus content, etc. I cannot encourage you enough to go check out Patreon. It's a huge support to the channel. It helps me do the giveaways and do more content for you, etc. It is really a nice, huge support. Buy merch. You can't buy this one anymore because it was limited edition for $500, but there's a bunch of other choices. Go check it out. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe. I'm not in charge of your life. You are, so do, and don't be the Baroness about it. Okay. I'm getting very hungry, friends.